I'm about to lose my brain stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Tamir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man will go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
Queen.
sense.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
Touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine, you son. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X to my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine, you son. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X to my jeans, and I got
This is the sound of Eric.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right. Hello, Mr. Hotel, Mr. Mystical Black Realms. Vince, I am from the UK. Laylo is in the house. Emperor Rex. All right, Pennywise, I see you. Claudette. RG Titan, Kenyatta. All right, shout out to everyone in the chat and everyone tuned into the Queen. I see you, Janelle, Latasha, that Crazy Beach Aries, G from the Land, Renz, G, Nisi Q. All right. So, hey, Shirley, Christopher. With that all being said, let's get ready to get black into it. Okay, everyone get those likes up. You all know they have the Queen Shadow Band. Okay, also don't forget to follow me. Mr. Hotel said I started my morning with your new ebook, Queen. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Hey, my aunt Egypt, Wavy though in the house, Nita's and Mike's World, Timber Dan, Latasha. Shout out to my moderators putting in work. Okay, so with that all being said, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. And as per usual, if you don't like what the Queen is cooking, you already know what to do. Okay? G from the Land said, I like how you're matching your background. Thank you, beloved. You know I try. Okay, so now let's get into it because I have a lot of stories to cover. Hey, Trail. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about this nefarious man who plotted on his wife. Let me pull this up real quick. And just for you all's information, I'm going to be playing some audio from the psychic Sloan Bella, who, you know, basically was talking about what was going on, what was going to happen with Diddy's case and all that stuff, and who gave some very interesting intel or insight into Kim Porter's demise. Okay, I'm going to be playing some of part 1 and part 2. So that's going to be at the end of the show after we get the most important news out first. Okay, so here we go. This is the devil right here. I want you all to pay attention because this man is so nefarious. Now, here's what they say. He said, she totally underestimated me. Man allegedly writes a note to his brother containing a detailed plan to kidnap, grape, and to murder his estranged wife for leaving him. So a Pennsylvania man is in custody for an elaborate but failed plan to kidnap, grape, and murder his wife. Now, Jeffrey K. Conway Sr., age 52. I'm sorry, but he looks a bit older than 52. Anyone beg to differ? He looks a whole lot older than 52, but let me continue. Now, it said he stands accused of attempted murder, attempted rape, attempted kidnapping, aggravated assault, stalking, unlawful restraint, false imprisonment, possessing an instrument of crime, and other related charges, according to the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office. Now, his foiled plot was allegedly detailed in 2 separate documents, a lengthy 2-page note in a manila envelope, and written on the bottom of a judge's order after he made bail following a stalking arrest back in October. He said, I have 1.5 months to kill that bitch. That's what he said. He allegedly wrote on the order outlining his next court appearance for the stalking charge. Could have killed her 17 times if I wanted. What a weak system. And he spelled weak, W-E-E-K, like days of the week. But let me continue. I'm just saying this just goes to show he's not that smart, which is why he obviously got caught. Now, according to the district attorney's office, the earlier offense resulted in the issuance of a protection from abuse, a PFA order, right? So on Sunday, late in the morning, Kay Conway allegedly attacked his wife while she was in her Nissan Rogue in a parking lot at the King of Prussia Walmart on North Gulf Road. Now, officers with the Upper Marion Township Police Department responded to a 911 call about the attack, and they found the victim had escaped her soon-to-be ex-husband, but had been stabbed in her leg multiple times. Now, he was arrested in a nearby parking lot with a large metal pick sticking out of his sweatshirt pocket, according to law enforcement. Authorities also allegedly discovered black handcuff-shaped zip ties on him as well. According to the district attorney's office, a nearby pickup truck contained a black duffel bag allegedly belonging to him. Now, the duffel bag contained a black pepper ball gun with 2 magazines, 3 piercing tools, one of them with the victim's name written on it, a blindfold, duct tape, more zip ties, knives, wire cutters, pliers, and other tools, and KY jelly. Because let's not forget, he said he was going to grape her. This man is also sick. Can you imagine finding out that this is the type of idiot you've been married to? But I digressed. Now, the bag also contained the court order and a note addressed to Kay Conway's brother. It said, "Well, by now, Michelle and I are both dead." This is what the typo-laden note allegedly began with. Not typo-laden. And so there really is nothing to worry about. Listen, tell everyone there is nothing nobody could have done. Depending where she parks, some days are more ideal than others. If I can't do it on an ideal day, it will happen the weekend before Thanksgiving, somewhere around town. Now, I just have to follow her Saturday or Sunday morning and grab her when she goes to her car, going store to store, informing her if she screams, yells, or tries to run, that I will shoot her in the face. Now, he wrote all of this out. After that description of the would-be murder plan, the note contains the author's feelings about their target. He said, "Not a day has gone by since she left that I didn't think about killing that bitch. So when I'm done graping that effing bitch, I'll kill her. Am I crazy? Yes, I am. And I told her not to blankety blank with our family, that I am more than capable of doing some really bad shite. She totally underestimated me. I'm out, G." He thinks he's a whole gangster, apparently. Now, he knew his wife's whereabouts on the day in question because he put a tracking device on her car, according to authorities. The district attorney's office also provided an outline of the events that preceded the alleged kidnapping, rape, and murder plan. On September the 28th, the wife first applied for and received a temporary protection order. On October the 5th, the judge overseeing the case finalized that order and put it into effect for 1 year, prohibiting any contact between Kay Conway and his wife. Now, on October the 20th, the husband allegedly violated the order for the first time, yelling at her and threatening her on the streets. On October the 31st, he was charged with indirect criminal contempt hearing for allegedly violating the order and released on a $5,000 bail. Now, they say the most dangerous time for a victim of domestic violence is when she leaves the abuser. Haven't I told you all that? Now, this victim worked to keep herself safe by obtaining a PFA and reporting the defendant when he violated the PFA by obsessively stalking her. Thankfully, bystanders intervened to help the victim yesterday. This is what Montgomery County District Attorney Kevin R. Steele said in a statement. Now, this case demonstrates how dangerous domestic violence is, including stalking behavior. Well, lucky for her, his plan was foiled because he really had it in for her. Okay, he had all the smoke for her, So glad that he got caught before he could finish what he was trying. Absolutely egregious. Yeah, Halle Berry said they will surely track your car. Absolutely. Shirley says this lady must not have tried to get to know the guy before marrying him. Sometimes people can fool you for a while, I guess. And then, sometimes people turn into a whole nother person when the person leaves them. That's what happens. Sometimes these obsessive, crazy people turn into a whole nother person when the victim is trying to leave them. They just become a whole devil. That's clearly what happened here. Miss Hotel said this is clearly nefarious. It absolutely is. Please pay attention. Now listen to this, because this is equally as nefarious. It was the only way we all wouldn't burn. This is all so crazy. So this woman killed her children, ages 3 and 5, by slitting their throats. Didn't I just tell you all a story like a day or two ago about a woman who slit the throat of her infants? This woman did the same thing to her 3-year-old and her 5-year-old. Let me pull her picture up. That's her right there, Karen. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. So let's talk about it. Now, a 35-year-old woman in Montana will spend the rest of her days behind bars for killing her 2 children, slitting both of their throats, and then telling authorities that she did it to save her babies. This is all so crazy. So, Missoula County District Judge Robert Deschamps, I think it's Deschamps, on Monday ordered Lania G. Gardipe to serve a life sentence in the custody of the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services. They say Deschamps was handed down 2 life sentences, one for each of the victims, ages 3 and 5, to run concurrently, and that's at the same time. Now, the sentences came on one day after the 2nd anniversary of the children's deaths. Gardipe pleaded guilty in August to 2 counts of deliberate homicide in the double slaying that took place inside the family's home November the 19th of 2021. Travis Sandberg, Gardipe's ex-husband and the father of the children, read a victim impact statement before the formal sentencing, in which he implored the court to send Gardipe to prison as opposed to a mental health facility, saying that every second of every day, all I can picture is Linnea brutally murdering my kids. I pleaded over and over that my children were in danger. As previously reported, Sandberg had voiced concern about Gardipe's mental health. For example, Gardipe went to an emergency room while experiencing a mental health episode and said she was hurting her children. She later claimed this was a false report born from her mental health challenges. Immediately after that, Child Protective Services put the children in the care of Sanders as the parents engaged in a protracted custody battle. Now, Gardipe eventually showed that she received weekly therapy, regularly met with her doctor, and spent 3 weeks in Pathways Treatment Center in Kalispell. Finally, a court gave Gardipe primary custody, with Sanders getting visitation every Wednesday and 2 weekends a month. Gardipe also addressed the court and tried to explain her tragic actions and how she was trying to keep them safe by brutally murdering them. I did not hurt my kids for any other reason other than I did not want them to get hurt by anyone else. Now, please make that make sense. That's her logic. So she killed them so nobody else could hurt them. Okay. So sad for these poor children. Anyway, she says, I felt I had to protect them forever because I felt like they were not safe. I was supposed to die with them, but she didn't. I love them more every day. My life revolved around them. I wouldn't have had it any other way. I always knew how to ask for help besides this time. Gardipe added that they visit me in my dreams, so I know they are okay. It makes me feel good to see them. I miss them every day. According to documents, Gardipe's mother called 911 on November the 19th of 2021 and explained her daughter had just called her and claimed to have saved her 3-year-old daughter and 5-year-old son. The children's grandmother asked the defendant if that meant she had killed Jane and John Doe, and the defendant began crying. Gardipe, too, called 911 and said that she wanted to report a murder and added that the dispatcher should expect a call from her mother as well. The guard I told the dispatcher that she had stabbed the children that morning on her bed using a knife and requested medical help, claiming she heard one of them making noises. I was supposed to die today. This is what she told the 911 dispatcher. When deputies arrived, Gardite, still on the phone with the dispatcher, briefly left her home, but went inside and locked the door. The dispatcher then tried to tell her that the deputies were there to help her. No, Gardite responded. They are not for what I did. So they just let this woman roam through the house and lock doors and stuff. Now, you already know if that was somebody black, it would not have played out that way. I just want you all to pay attention, specifically after they just gave a 911 call talking about they just killed somebody. First of all, they weren't afraid for their lives that she was still armed with the knife or whatever she used in the slayings. Okay, just pay attention to that alone. Now, deputies found the children in a bedroom tucked into bed sheets. They had suffered lacerations to their throats and other injuries, including defensive wounds to their hands and fingers. They were declared dead. That's so sad. These poor babies were trying to fight for their lives. They had defensive wounds. This devil. The investigators found a bloody serrated steak knife under the bed and a pool of blood in the 3-year-old girl's bedroom. They found a letter in the bedroom where they found the children. Now, it was the only way, this is what the letter said, it was the only way we all wouldn't burn. Now I'm the only one of us that will. This is all so crazy. All so crazy. Now, at the end of the day, like I said, how come the police didn't have any concerns? This woman has just killed 2 people, and then she's sitting there, and they're just letting her roam freely through the house and lock doors and stuff. She could have been in there getting a weapon for all they knew, a gun or something. Did they concern themselves with that? I have a whole lot of questions. Yes, political minds, it is sick. Okay, H-Town 2 Cali said, I couldn't be a dispatcher because I would want to ask her, ma'am, Miss Lady, why aren't you on the way to greet the devil? Okay. The stories like this that make me reconsider my stance on the death penalty, says Dan. Shirley said, complexion for the protection. You already know. I'm sorry, because they should have immediately put her in cuffs and detained her right then and there. She literally just told the dispatcher that she killed somebody. Anyway, let me continue. Man wreaks havoc at gym, harasses teens that are working out, then crashes into the door in escape attempt and tries to bite a cop. Let's get his picture right up here on the screen. It's all crazy. That's him, Jacob Peters. Jacob Peters is his name. A man allegedly made quite a scene at an Idaho gym, bothering 2 teens, trying to chase them, and then a good Samaritan tried to chase them and a good Samaritan into an exercise mat room, crashing into a door in an escape attempt, breaking a window, and then trying to bite a cop that was taking him to jail. Jacob Andrew Roberts, age 21, currently sits in the Ottawa County Jail on a $5,000 bond for malicious injury to property, resisting or obstructing officers, and assault and battery upon certain personnel with the intent to commit a serious felony. Now, according to the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office, cops in the city of Eagle got a 911 call just after 12:30 p.m. on Sunday regarding a man with a knife who broke into a gym window and was covered in blood. Officers arrived to find the shattered window, but Roberts was gone. A woman told them the suspect was acting strangely and bothering 2 teens who were working out. The teenagers tried to get away from him. Worried on their behalf, the woman said she stood between them and Roberts, telling the suspect to leave them alone. She must have been brave because he had a knife. Now, she and the teenagers shut the door to the exercise mat room and blocked it with kettlebells to keep Roberts out. Speaking of kettlebells, do you all remember that time when P. Diddy hit Justin's coach with the kettlebells? But let me continue. She and the teenagers shut the door and to the exercise mat room. Now, according to another witness, Roberts appeared to get even angrier when he could not get into the room. They say when another witness was about to call 911 to report what was going on, Roberts tried to leave the gym, but ran into the front door and fell backwards when it didn't open. What is wrong with people? But anyway, Roberts allegedly took a large knife out of his waistband, using it to smash a large glass window next to the door, and then he proceeded to walk out. Now, officers later found him behind a restaurant at the 100 block of East State Street, where they arrested him. A large knife allegedly lay under his sweatshirt, but they didn't shoot him. Now, according to deputies, paramedics treated him at the scene. Police took him to jail, but when he got out of the patrol vehicle for booking, he attempted to run away. I bet you they didn't shoot him in the back. And then he tried to bite an officer in the bicep during the ensuing struggle, but he never got shot or beat. I just want y'all to pay attention. Now, he had a knife on him, clearly armed, but nobody feared for their lives or safety. That's the officers I'm talking about. And then they got into a scuffle, and he literally bit one of them. Okay, yeah. But he got to the jail just fine and intact. Please pay attention. This is what I be talking about right here. Okay? But then you have people like Candace Owens and others try to act like there's no such thing as racism, that we're just making it all up. Dumped him like garbage. Woman sentenced for helping stuff body of a 5-year-old boy into a suitcase, while the victim's mom is still being sought for the murder. This is all crazy. Let me put her picture up on the screen. That's her, and that's the little boy right there. Now, this happened in Louisiana, or southern Indiana is where the body was found. A Louisiana woman was sentenced to 30 years in prison for her role in the death of a 5-year-old boy from southern Indiana found in a suitcase abandoned in the woods. Dawn Elaine Coleman, age 41, received the sentence after pleading guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder in the tragic death of young Cairo Jordan. She'll serve 25 years in prison and get 5 years probation under the terms of her plea agreement. Now, the judge said, you packaged Cairo up like trash and dumped him like garbage. This is what Judge Larry Medlock said to her. You chose not to stop it, not to call the authorities. A mushroom hunter discovered Cairo's body on April the 26th of 2022 in a very distinctive suitcase with the words, "To fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada," that had been discarded in a heavily wooded area. You all should remember this story because I reported on this when it first happened. Now, police said they had discovered an approximately 5-year-old black male child deceased. He exhibited no apparent signs of trauma. No witnesses, family members, or acquaintances came forward in connection with the child's death, and he did match the description of any child who had been reported missing. The Washington County Circuit Court issued 2 felony arrest warrants on October the 14th of 2022 for Coleman and Cairo's mother, 38-year-old Dewani Ludi Anderson, on charges of neglect of a dependent resulting in death and obstruction of justice. Detectives traveled to California, where they took Coleman into custody with the assistance of the San Francisco Police Department, but could not locate Anderson. She has remained on the lam as investigators continue the search for the accused killer. In court documents obtained by ABC's Louisville, Kentucky affiliate, WHAS, Coleman told investigators that she walked into a bedroom in the home that she shared with Cairo and Anderson to find the mother sitting on top of her son. Who was lying face down on the mattress. Now, she claimed that by the time she entered the room, it was already done. This is what she said, meaning that Cairo was already dead. Coleman reportedly confirmed that she then assisted Anderson in stuffing Cairo's body into the hard-shell Las Vegas suitcase and driving with her to Indiana, where they dumped the luggage into the woods. This is all crazy. Why did she call the police? What kind of idiot sits there and goes along with something so nefarious? I have questions. I believe that she helped this woman to kill him. I think they both killed this child together. The woman's fingerprints were found on the suitcase, and cell phone data placed them in the area where Cairo's body was found days before the suitcase was even discovered. In the days before Cairo was killed, his mother made a series of disconcerting posts on social media. She said, "I have survived the death attacks from my 5-year-old throughout the 5 years he has been alive." This is what she tweeted April the 12th. "I have been able to weaken his powers through our blood. I have his real name, and he is 100 years old. Need assistance." This woman sounds crazy. Is she trying to act like she's crazy? Because I don't think she really is. She was probably just pretending to be so. And it sounds like she's trying to say her son was a demon, because she said he was 100 years old and she has his real name, and she's weakened his powers through blood. She also made references to needing an exorcism, a very powerful demonic force from within my son. said she needed to exorcise this demonic force from her son. Just because the avatar is of what we call a child does not mean that it is actually a child. There are beings that are here that are not supposed to be here, that pick avatars to hide behind, to play roles, to steal energy, and to ruin lives, she wrote. Sounds like she's the demon, not the kid, but here's a picture of her. Let me share her face on the screen. Everyone, please like and share. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you in advance. That's the mother, Dewani Ludi Anderson. Or is it Dwayne? It's got an E on the inside. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but nonetheless, that's her. It's all so low down and crazy. Well, she is speaking truth, but she's the one that's nuts, not the baby. Right, Mr. Hotel. Pisces says she's the demon. Exactly. She absolutely is. Right. Vince I am said projecting being a demon. Mm-hmm. Dank Bruno says she looks kind of crazy too. Yeah, she does. This is all nefarious. All nefarious. Now let's talk about this very interesting story. This is a very interesting story. So let me pull up my receipts. Everyone, please get those likes up. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. So there was a young man. Hold on. Wait a second. Wait a second, beloveds. Let me see if I have his picture. There was a young man who died in a hit and run. Okay? Died in a hit and run. And a white man did this to him, and then his mother helped him. But he was released on a $10,000 bond. $10,000, okay? Now he's out here roaming free. Hold on just a second. Lights up, everyone, please like and share. I forgot to get the victim's picture cued. Hold on just a second. Okay, here it is. This is also crazy. Let me just double check because I'm pretty sure. Oh, yeah, I knew I had his picture. There he is right here. Okay. I knew I should have had it. Now, this is the young man right here. And so this is what happened to him. His name is Donovan Barnes. Now, Donovan lost his life, as I was saying, because he was riding and he was struck and hit by this man right here. And that's his mother, who's a school teacher, by the way. And so basically, she helped her son clean up evidence and all of that. But the funny thing is, she has not been charged. She has not been charged. So let's get into it. Now, here's what they say. No evidence at the crime scene where Donovan Barnes was killed. So Lamar County Sheriff's Department asked the public for its help to solve a murder mystery almost 2 weeks after Donovan Barnes' family found him lying in the ditch on Westover Drive in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Donovan, a 26-year-old African-American, was found dead on arrival. Now, here's the thing. His family went looking for him. They have reported him missing. It would be 2 weeks before they found out any information. Now, the person who hit him, at the end of the day, Andrew Cook, he went on home with all this damage to his vehicle. He told his mother, he called his mother and told her that he hit something, but he didn't know what he hit. This is what they claim. And that she went back to the crime scene and she didn't see anything. So they just went on back home, didn't bother to call the police, but they knew he hit something because of all the damage to his vehicle. But first of all, if you hit something, anybody, this is just common sense. If you hit something while you're driving, especially, and it damages your vehicle, you're going to get out to not only observe the damage to your vehicle, but you're going to also get out to see what you hit. If you don't realize it's a person, you don't know what it is. So he didn't get out of his car to see what he hit. He knew what he hit. Okay, but let me continue. So on Saturday, October the 7th of 2023, Lamar County Sheriff's Office arrived at the crime scene late Saturday evening. They roped the crime scene area off with yellow tape. Officers, investigators, Hattiesburg Police Department Crime Scene Unit, and others had determined that Donovan was the victim of a hit and run. However, there was no evidence of a hit and run. There was actually no evidence of a crime scene at all. All they had was Donovan's lifeless body laying in a ditch. His phone, Yellowstone hat, and shoes were lying in the grass in the pit, according to the pictures they took. Now, and I'll show you the picture of the crime scene in just a second. Now, typically, when there is a wreck or a crash, there is debris from the vehicles at the scene of the crime, a point of area at the crime scene of the impact. It is if there was a barrier such as a guardrail or concrete blockades and other materials that would indicate that a wreck had taken place. But there was nothing at the crime scene that indicated a wreck or crime had even taken place. Please pay attention. According to multiple law enforcement officials, Andrew David Cook, age 23, a white male suspect arrested for killing Donovan, returned to the crime scene with family members the same night of Donovan's murder. Law enforcement stated the family looked to see what the accused killer, David Andrew Cook, had admitted that he hit, as he claimed he knew he hit something, but could not find anything when the family went back to search the crime scene. Why didn't he search it when he was there, when he knew he hit something in the first place, before he went all the way home and got others? And then didn't come back until that night. This man lay in the ditch dying. He could have been saved possibly had he only rendered aid. Why didn't they charge him for failure to render aid? Also, I have questions. Now, still no one called the police to report accused killer Andrew David Cook. And one point Andrew David Cook, had an accident, wreck, or to report that any crime had taken place despite multiple people being aware that a crime had been committed, as multiple family members had spent time at the crime scene. Almost 2 weeks later, Andrew David Cook was charged with leaving the scene of a crime resulting in death, with his bond being secretly, pay attention, set very low at a $10,000 bond by Lamar County Justice Court Judge Bill Anderson. No evidence was found at the crime scene of where Donovan was killed. No one else was involved or charged, or no one else involved was charged. Any of the family members who came should have been charged. Any of the family members who came should have been charged because they knew about it. They were complicit. But let's look at the crime scene. There it is right there. There it is right there. You see how clean and tidy it looks? That's because they absolutely cleaned it up. That's what they did. They cleaned it up. Now, I'm going to give you a timeline of the events. His mother, who is an Oak Grove teacher, admitted to her part in Donovan Barnes' death, but still no charges. Let me put her face back up on the screen again. That's him and his mother, school teacher, mind you. Admitted her part. Lamar County school teacher Kimberly Walker Yawn, the mother of David Andrew Cook, a 23-year-old. I want you to pay attention because they'll call him Andrew David Cook and then David Andrew Cook. I'm just noticing that. Now, so anyway, goes on to say that she's his mother and says that Donovan was found in a ditch by his siblings and family during the University of Southern Mississippi's homecoming weekend, according to the Lamar County Sheriff's Office. Now, as Hattiesburg News continues to investigate the case, we can confirm that Yawn has been interviewed by the Lamar County Sheriff's Office as well as submitted a statement as part of the investigation. At this time, we don't know what she has admitted to, or neither do we know the full extent of how Yawn is involved. We can confirm that law enforcement says that she was at the crime scene the night Donovan was killed. Now, here's the timeline of events. Friday night, October the 6th of 2023. David Andrew Cook, the 23-year-old white male suspect charged with leaving the scene of an accident, said that he was driving on Westover Road at the same time Donovan was walking on Westover and knew that he hit something.
He claimed he did not know what he hit and immediately called his mom, not the police, mind you, his mom. Okay, we're told his 2023 black Toyota 4Runner had major damage. Now, sometime Friday night, Andrew David Cook and his mom, Kimberly Yon, went back to the crime scene to find what Cook hit. According to law enforcement, Yon claimed that they looked and they didn't see anything. Tuesday, October the 17th, 2 weeks later, almost 2 weeks later, okay, with no leads or evidence, as stated by Lamar County Sheriff's Office, after Donovan had been discovered by his family, the Sheriff's Office finally released a statement asking for the public's help on Tuesday. That was October the 17th. Wednesday, October the 18th of 2023, Wednesday morning, Kimberly brought her son to the sheriff's station and told law enforcement her son called her when he allegedly killed Donovan. But when they returned to the scene, they couldn't find anything. Cook confessed to law enforcement during his interview to hitting what he described as something during the same time and in the same place Donovan was killed. However, he was allowed to go home that evening with no charges or arrest at that time. Now, he just said that he was at the same place where this young man was hit. They already said there was a hit and run, according to the police. The police already had determined it was a hit and run. And this man says that he was in the same area at the same time and hit something, but didn't say what, left and went home. So he gets to go back home. Thursday, October the 19th of 2023, Thursday evening to be in fact, 2 days before Donovan's funeral, Cook was charged with only one count of leaving the scene of an accident. Bond was set at $10,000, arrived at the county jail for processing, and was released immediately after the jail's booking process was complete. He didn't even sit behind the cell. I just want you to pay attention. They didn't lock him up. Okay, he went there and was booked in, means fingerprinted and mugshot taken, and he was allowed to pay his fine and leave. Now, of a $10,000 bond, well, he only had to pay $1,000 because it's 10%. So, Hattiesburg News has confirmed that Cook left the crime scene at least 2 separate times. However, he only is charged with one count of leaving the scene of a crime or an accident. So this is all real crazy. Possible murder charges. According to legal experts, there are a host of possible charges that Kimberly Walker Young could be facing, depending on her role in Donovan's death, before, during, and or after the crime. Based on only on the limited information that has been provided by law enforcement. Yeah, they're trying to keep it under wraps. Okay, Young's charges may include murder or attempted murder, seeing as since one crime was being committed during the act of another crime. Possible charges for accessory after the fact. Now, that's what she could face. Tampering with evidence because they went and cleaned up the crime. Possible charges for conspiracy. These are all things that she's facing. But she hasn't been charged with anything yet. Okay, nothing. She should have been locked up immediately. Her son should have been locked up immediately. How do you just let him come there and get a bond for so small an amount and then leave with no charges? Or, I'm sorry, he left with no charges in the first place. But then when he was charged, was allowed to leave with only a $10,000 bond. But here's why. Here's why I want you to pay attention. Meet Judge Bill Anderson. You see, I did some research on this judge that let him go so quickly and with such a minuscule bond. And here's what I found out. So Judge Bill Anderson, who secretly set the bond for Donovan Barnes, accused killer Andrew David Cook, okay, well, he's had some issues before. Okay, here's what it says. Now, Judge Bill Anderson is a Lamar County Justice Court judge who set a bond for Donovan Barnes' accused killer Andrew David Cook, age 23, for only $10,000. Manslaughter or any other non-capital crime involving the loss of a human life, the bond ranges from $10,000 to $1 million, according to the Mississippi Rules of Criminal Procedure. Please pay attention. Now, the community and the victim's family have been outraged with such a low amount for the bond, considering the fact that someone lost their life. So this is not the first time this judge has outraged the community over a bond. Judge Bill Anderson was found guilty by the Supreme Court for improperly reducing a defendant's bond, which led to him being suspended, similar to Donovan's case. Why is he still a judge? However, in this case, Donovan's accused killer, Andrew David Cook, never even stepped foot in any courtroom Okay, there was no bond hearing. Judge Bill Anderson set Cook's bond for $10,000 without ever seeing him in a courtroom after he was charged with killing Donovan. The bond was set after court was closed. There was no clerk in the courtroom. There is no record of what was said or who said what. Andrew David Cook, who has been accused of killing Donovan Barnes, never spent one night in jail. He only appeared at the Lamar County Jail on Thursday, October the 19th of 2023 for booking and was immediately released. 2 days before Donovan Barnes' funeral, this is when it all happened, which was held on a Saturday, October the 21st in downtown Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Out of 31 cases before Judge Bill Anderson during October the 15th through the 21st of 2023, accused killer Andrew David Cook was not one of them and did not appear on any court dockets. Out of the 6 inmates appearing before Judge Bill Anderson during October the 15th through 21st of 2023 for a bond, accused killer Andrew David Cook was not one of those that ever showed up. Now, also, according to documents Hattiesburg News has received, Cook was charged with leaving the scene of an accident causing death. Now, according to the affidavit in the state case, they say Cook could only receive a maximum of 20 years in prison if he's found guilty by the charges they've charged him with. He should get life in prison. But hold on. Let me let you all see this. This is an affidavit on the case right here. And so they say this is not the first time Judge Bill Anderson has sparked controversy in the community or been accused of misconduct, improprieties, or illegal activities as a judge. Why is this man still a judge? Illegal activities as a judge? Yeah, we know, because he has the complexion for the protection. He was suspended by 15th Circuit Court Judge R.I. Pritchard for 30 days without pay after being charged by the Mississippi Supreme Court with 2 counts of judicial misconduct. The Mississippi Commission on Judicial Performance said that Anderson failed to issue rulings in cases among issues with setting bonds for defendants. Now, Judge Bill Anderson is up for re-election on Tuesday, November the 7th of 2023 against local attorney Shonda Carter. I hope he lost. This is all real crazy. Do you all see this? Do you all see this? So at the end of the day, he's probably just going to get a slap on the wrist. Looks like they're trying to cover this up. Just like that cop you reported on yesterday, Queen. How do these people get jobs? Exactly. Exactly. But let me tell you all something. Here's another thing that I found out. So when the mother and the son, Andrew David Cook, or David Andrew Cook, because they keep switching his name, when they went back to the crime scene, remember, in one part of the article, it said that the killer, Andrew Cook, and family members, they said that plural. I want you to pay attention. Because they said family members, but then they only specified his mother. Who are these other people? Well, I think I know. You see, there was a law enforcement officer who was supposedly suspended for tampering with a crime scene. Now, if I put 2 and 2 together and get 4, that likely means that that officer is one of their family members who went back and helped them to clean up the crime scene. Because it was a very good job of cleanup done. They didn't find any evidence other than the dead man's body. I want you all to pay attention. This is all so nefarious. But again, this is what they do to Black folk. Now, let's talk about this other case where a Black man who worked at a prison turned up dead. And nobody has any concrete answers as to what happened. Not an inmate, but someone who was a prison guard. Houston parents of the Texas corrections officer killed Monday receive an update. So I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
To a Fox 26 exclusive, the family of a Houston corrections officer killed at a prison near Huntsville on Monday is learning more about the incident.
Fox 26's Donnelly Keith joining us live after speaking with the guard's parents. Heartbreaking. Donnelly.
It's absolutely heartbreaking. And Jovian Motley's parents had a meeting with the executive director of TDCJ, and they say they appreciate the additional information, but they still want to know why it was so important for guards to go into the cell if the inmate was the only one in there. And they say they still have a lot of questions about how and why their son died.
It has turned my family upside down. My firstborn child, you know what I'm saying? We haven't had any grandchildren.
Since learning their son, 27-year-old corrections officer Jovian Motley was killed at the Wainwright prison Monday while helping to restrain an inmate, Edward and Tamika Motley have been searching for answers.
So there were stories that he was choked. There were stories that he hit his head on the toilet and broke his neck. Like, we don't know. We really don't know. I asked the warden, was he stabbed? Was he hit in the head?
In a meeting with the executive director of Texas Department of Criminal Justice, Brian Collier, the Motleys have learned.
They confirmed that he was the fourth man, the fourth correction officer to go in from the 5-man team. The first person was to take the inmate down. The second person was to restrain an arm.
And after the second and third officers cuffed the inmate, the Motleys say their son's job was to hold the inmate's legs. A sixth person, they're told, was recording video, a supervisor was observing, and a medical official was standing by. So what happened to Jovian? The Motleys only know their son, who practiced jiu-jitsu, somehow became unresponsive. Collier tells them.
So he said that they also want to get to the truth. They want to answer the questions. They want us to have the answers.
You know, I lost my mom not too long ago. I'm sorry. And this happened on her birthday.
On her birthday.
You know?
And a day before Jovian's mom's birthday, which the family just celebrated Saturday, as mom and son, seen here, were in a dance-off. The family also just returned from a cruise together for Jovian's birthday, and with his sister heading home from the Navy and dad returning from a business trip, they were looking forward to spending Thanksgiving together.
I was so excited to come home and spend Thanksgiving with my babies, you know.
We'll forever have an empty seat at our dinner table.
Now, Tamika Motley says she's going to work on getting policies changed so that no one else's family will have to experience the hurt that they are. Now, the Office of Attorney Inspector General is also investigating Jovian Motley's death, and the family says they also want to view the video that was taken of the incident. They had a chance to see their son briefly just from the neck up, but they say they do look forward to being able to examine his entire body to see what type of trauma he suffered. Reporting live, I'm Donnelly Keith, Fox 26 News.
That's very sad, but my spidey senses tells me that his co-workers did something to him because he possibly tried to intervene in their restraining of the inmate. That's just what my spirit tells me. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm just telling you what I'm getting. So I find it all very interesting because something seems very fishy here. Why aren't they giving more concrete answers? And where's the footage? Okay. Where's the footage? Okay. Don't they have some? Well, of course they do. Dang, Bruno said exactly, Queen. Okay. December said yes. Leon said yes, exactly. Okay. So this is all crazy. Claudette said exactly, Queen. Mine too. Saladin said, right. Something is off here. Exactly. Okay. So now let's talk about P. Diddy and Kim Porter, because the psychic Sloan Bella gave some very interesting information. Now, I think I played a clip for you all. I'm not sure if I did, where she was basically, saying some things about Kim and about some things about Diddy coming out in November of 2023. She was clearly on point, but she was a whole lot more on point. There's more to the story. So I'm going to let you all hear this. I'm not going to show the video because I don't have permission, but I'm going to let you all hear the audio. Now, mind you, this is going to be a little lengthy. It's going to be about 15 minutes. And then I have a few minutes of part 2 that I want you all to listen to as well. Because this first part, this is the first thing we're going to listen to, part 1. And then, like I said, we're going to listen to some of part 2. Okay, let me put her picture up on the screen. And I'll cue the video.
In them, powder on them. It looks almost like a candy your grandmother would have. I should say my grandmother would have had. Looks like a candy, but it's for your throat. Old school in the tin. And there's something to do with that because she's looking at her hands. It took me a while to get there, but she's looking at her hands. And I don't know if it's because she picked up something. They can do whatever they want. Now, part of this is blocked from her. And there are other people with her on the other side that this has happened to as well. People she doesn't know, but that are in that same circle of people, as in probably in entertainment, as opposed to like her personal friend circle. Somebody betrayed her. Somebody betrayed her. Somebody betrayed her. Okay, hold on. She has, I'm trying to hear this correctly. She has 3 different manuscripts, okay? Because it was reported she was writing a tell-all book about her partner, baby daddy. P. Diddy. Did I say that right? P. Diddy. P. Diddy. I'm sorry, I'm just fucking saying it. I don't know why. Anyway, she had 3 manuscripts and she gave them to 3 separate people. Somebody you wouldn't even suspect. Somebody outside of her friend group. Somebody entirely different. She had a very close-knit circle of friends and a particular type of friends. So she hung around particular people. She was very specific in her choice of people that she allowed in her circle. Okay, very, very, very controlled about that. However, somebody from outside that circle has one of, quote, the books or manuscripts or written documentation. So they don't have it all. And she's kind of laughing because she suspected that this would happen, but it blew her mind when it happened. When she passed away at 47, her mind blown, okay? She always thought it, but never really thought it. And that's a Neptune in her chart. I can verbalize this to you, that someone is going to do this to me or this is going to happen to me, but it doesn't really register inside of me that this is really going to happen to me. That's how I feel she felt. Like holy crap, like blown, mind blown. Almost like an accident. When you get into an accident, you pop out of your body. That's shocking enough. This is even more shocking for her because it's like actually happened. The other thing that now I'm developing an eye twitch again. Every time I try to tell a story, my eye starts to go like this. So I have to assume something happened with the left side of her face and with her eye and what's behind her eye, because my eye keeps doing it when I'm talking about her. And all day yesterday, I tried to film this and then my eye kept twitching and it's still twitching. So I feel with her that there was something like that. I also know that one of her best girlfriends, she has several, maybe 3. One of her best girlfriends, she worries because that best girlfriend tells her husband everything. Like, so, you know, those women that are married to men and they go home and they're like, yeah, so-and-so did this. And you're thinking, I didn't tell you for you to go home and tell that guy you're married to all the shit I just told you. Like, this is supposed to be our thing, right? So this girl is very much, I'm going to say, codependent on her male partner, husband. It's actually he is actually a husband, for her approval or attention, even though she acts the opposite. And Kim is afraid that that information will get out kind of sideways. Not that her husband is a threat, but he is still friends with her former baby daddy, P. Diddy. He's still friends. The husband is still friends with him. So Kim is afraid that this man will speak when his wife spoke to him. So she's trying to encourage her not to do that. Now, here's another aspect of this. This is so like crazy. I am being shown November of 2023. So her death date was November 15th of 2018, but I'm being shown November of 2023. I don't think we're done with this. I feel she's shaking her head yes. Before she stare at me, then she wait, and now she's shaking her head yes. I am being shown that things are being prepared. She is showing me a trumpet. People are standing straight up, and there are people going to speak, not just about what happened to her, about other things. Something is unraveling. For some reason, she's showing me like, was one of her kids, I wonder, in band? Because she's showing me like trumpet marching band type music, which is weird because I don't think that that's her favorite, but I'm being shown that. Somebody is leading the march, leading the way there. That's what it is. Somebody is leading the march, leading the way to uncover this information. And I'm getting 5 months. So I feel, sorry, I keep laughing because she's like, out with it. Toxic metal exposure. Toxic metal exposure through some kind of metallic something metal that's like a pencil shaving. So think of how tiny that is. And it went in through the nasal cavity, through a sniffer thing for colds or for allergies, whatever, nose spray. And it was tampered with. So many things were tampered with. Oh my God, her phone was hijacked. She had a second phone, by the way, and nobody got that phone. That phone is hidden. I don't think anybody knows where that phone is because she didn't tell anybody before she passed, but she had a second phone. So conversations about what's going down and coming out were done on a, quote, burner phone. Sounds like a drug deal, but it wasn't. A burner phone. So you just know they've not found this phone because this phone, they don't know where she hid it. And she didn't hide it in her car and her stuff or anything like that. She went to get it. It's somewhere where she went to get it. You know what I think? I think she's like, no, don't say it, but I'm going to say it. I feel like she has either a post office box, a bank security box, something storage box that nobody knows about. And it'll be found, but I feel like she was hiding things there. I don't know why nobody knows about it because, I mean, it's great if you're hiding stuff until you drop dead, and then what do you do? But I feel like she has this storage and this paperwork in storage. Her energy is interesting. Her oldest son, there's so much heartfelt thanks for him because there's a feeling of like the two of them together learned about what parenting and growing up was like. And she's so grateful for that relationship. He can see her. She shows me her daughters, and there's another son. The other son is kind of off to the side, like he's in his own orbit. I'm sure he does fine with his family and has many friends, but there's a disconnect between him and the girls and him and the older boy. I'm not saying they're not friends. I'm just saying energetically. That's all I'm saying is energetically. The two girls, I feel what she's showing me is, okay, she's giving me this reference. So when you edit a movie or you edit music or a movie and you take out a chunk, a clip, then if I watch the clip, I don't know what happened before and I don't know what happened after. I'm given the emotion of the clip that I'm shown. So that emotion comes into that. She's saying a lot, and when I say saying, the images I'm getting in my head, the impression I'm feeling is that her daughters have only been shown a snippet of life and they're blocked from seeing what happened before. They're blocked from seeing what happened before and what happened after. So she's kind of unsure about how they view her because they only have this little vignette of experience in front of them. And it's not correct. Her older boy knows. Okay? So the older son knows. It resonates with him. He understands. The girls have been blocked. They have been deliberately energetically capped is the word that she's using. And she's using it to show me, and this is what she's showing me. So here we go. She's using it to show me that when you have energy and our energy extends out way, way past our physical, okay? And and she used the word controllers, when people who want to control you or dominate you have an understanding of outside of the physical world, they can cap your energy so you can't even access the other clips to the movie. That's what she's saying happened to her daughters. It happened to her too. She's talking about the binding that happened when she crossed out of her body that pulled her in a direction she didn't want to go. There was a lot of confusion. What she'd been told about passing away is not what happened to her. She is still here because it is still unsettled. She's not like in a bad place at all. She's with God, not in a bad place, but she's still very, very dimensionally close to this dimension because it hasn't been settled. And because it hasn't been settled, she's not clear. In other words, she was taken away from her life early, not through natural circumstances. And therefore that needs to be corrected. And it's in the swing of being corrected. She's also talking about she agreed to do things with him, the baby daddy, and all of that around her that weren't really her. And on a karmic level, when she died, she felt that this was part of what was responsible. Horrified, though, that she stepped out of her body. Horrified. Like, oh my God, horrified. She's kind of saying that she did a lot of things. And in the months, probably, truthfully, 6 months prior to her passing, she was starting to see what he was for real and no more denying it. She's not a back down kind of person. She's a scrappy pappy. That's what this is about, standing over there. Sorry, it's making me laugh. I feel like I'm being stared at like by one of my kids when they were teenagers, just looking at me, shaking their head like, shut up. But she was scrappy pappy. She thought that it would change, and she wasn't privy to everything, but a whole hell of a lot she saw. So everything she's writing about, like, she's kind of saying, I saw it. Like, I lived it. I saw it. It happened. This is what happened. So she doesn't really understand why that can't come out if that's what you're doing and what's your issue with it, which is really kind of interesting. And it has something to do with containing the energy of this person. But then she's like, he literally went dark, black eyes, dark, completely shut down and dark. So she didn't even know who she was dealing with. I have terminology for it, but she doesn't use that terminology. Deceitful, duplicitous, two-faced is words she uses, liar, two-faced. She can see, by the way, she can see everything that he's done after her passing. She can hear him and she can see him. So if you think that you sent her away or that you're keeping her bound, because she's basically saying that something is being done by...
Hold on. Dan, you timed out Jeff ATL for 300 minutes. Or 300 seconds. I don't know if you meant to. I'm thinking this was a mistake, but you timed him out. Jeff ATL. Timber Dan.
This person whom she had children with, 3 of them, she is saying that he does things in order to keep her energy at bay because she's around him. I gotta tell you something. Okay, this is pretty funny. I think it's funny, ironic. She goes like in my face, she goes boo, like that, okay, like a cartoon. And the reason she's doing this is, and now my eyes twitching again. Okay, the reason look, I can't stop it from twitching. Oh my God. Every time I talk about her, my eye twitches, it gets out of control. And you know what? She may have had a seizure and hit the ground. That's maybe what she's trying to show me. But she acts like she's trying to scare her ex. She is around him energetically quite a bit. She watches him. She sees what he's saying. She knows what he's doing. It's very, very transparent to her, and you can't fool her. And you are going to stand so noted, accountable within the next 5 months. He's trying desperately to backpedal out of this. But whoever that man is, and it's a white man that has the tape or the information or however that is, one of the manuscripts with personal, private, written, handwritten documentation about what was said to her 3 months before she passed, what she witnessed, And the final straw that she couldn't take anymore, and it's not a case of domestic violence. It goes far beyond that and that. So it is domestic violence, but it's far, far beyond that. So she goes in a completely different scope. 5 months. The time is being marked. 5 months. So this is June, July, August, September, October, November. I'm going for November 15th. Or right around there. It's coming out. It will not be. You cannot keep this. She's literally, you cannot stop the truth. And she has, like, this is it. To the people that she knew before and her friends and people that she loves dearly, and she does love them dearly, and her children, there's nothing you can do that can't be forgiven. There's nothing you can do that can't be forgiven. But in speaking about, and her ex had a posse. He has a posse of people. He has like a thug group of people around him, a huge thug group, and the thug group are the ones that bugged her house or put cameras in her house or whatever, surveilled her house, the thug group. So he has friends that will pretty much do anything. And she's kind of showing me, now I'm going down that train of thought and I'm getting an image right now of a mob wife, M-O-B, mob wife. That's how she just felt it in my head. She's very, very smart, intellectual. Like she wants me to know she's smart. The mob wife has long bleached blonde hair, and she's kind of explaining, this is, I believe, her position, but she's explaining to me that early on in the marriage, this mob wife married a man she loved, or was with a man and had kids with a man she loved, and did her wife things, did her hair, did her nails, raised her kids, had her friends, Pilates, yoga, whatever. And then one day came to know that the husband that she married because she loved and who she avoided looking into every single aspect of what he did business-wise, when she found out she could no longer have breakfast with this man, talk to this man on an equal level, she had to step back from it because it was so offensive to her heart. That's what happened to her. So her ex crossed the line in such a way that it offended her sense of moral code, and she could no longer stay. He also used to hit her and choke her, so that we're clear on that. She shows me being choked, being shaken and choked like that. And he was always tricking her. He was always coming in nice and then flipping a switch, flipping like that. Always coming in nice and then flippo like that. And actually, very scared human being, if he's human, I'm adding that, she didn't add that. Very scared person with no real faith, and his bravado is melting down. So it's ending now. And then she's saying something. I'm sorry, she's speaking in codes, but she's singing that song by Stevie Wonder, Signed, Sealed, and Delivered. Like, I don't know if that was a song that they spoke about or code, or if she just liked that song, but signed, sealed, and delivered within 5 months is what I'm hearing. So her friends, family, and people that loved her and fan base will have some answers. Completely toxic metal shock through the nasal cavity. That's what I'm seeing. That's all I'm seeing. So that is my celebrity channeled energy reading on Miss Kim Porter.
Okay, so that concludes part one. Now I want you to pay attention. She kept referring to Diddy as the baby daddy. Okay. Someone said in the chat that she was likely doing so that she didn't have to continuously say allegedly. And that is, in my opinion, as well, why she was likely saying that. Now, also pay attention to the fact that she said that Kim had an inhaler and that something was likely put in the inhaler. Okay, that's why she's talking about these toxic metal shavings or whatever. Like maybe she inhaled something, okay, without her knowledge. But also, she said that there were cameras and things put into Kim's home without her knowledge. So someone was watching her, is what she's saying. Now, I want you to listen very carefully to part two, because this part is very juicy. Okay, I'm going to start at the 5-minute, 35-second mark. Let me get this queued real quick. Okay, so let me say this. She also says that she is doing a part 2 because she kept getting information in her head. Now, she said she very rarely does a part 2 to things like this, but that she felt compelled to do so because of the information that she was getting. Okay, so now I'm going to start. This part is approximately about 10 to 11 minutes.
I'm going to say this, what I felt it in me so strongly. A few years before Kim passed, so probably 2016-ish timeframe, thereabouts, could have been 2017, but a long enough time where it was more than 12 months, might not have been quite 2 years, she was speaking to authorities. Now, who the authorities are, I don't think it's like local cops. I think it's maybe more like people who investigate things. She was speaking to them about something that she became aware of. And she had never been aware of this before. She'd been aware of a lot of things. Don't kid yourself. She was not sheltered and she was not naive to whom she had children with. But this was different. This was like a whole notch up of like, oh my God. She was communicating with authorities. I heard that. Authorities were aware of something, that information that she had, and were asking her to gather more, and I'll use the word intel, but more information about a particular instance. Now, the instance, what I was shown is the instance went back to a party, which was not thrown by her husband, not husband, baby daddy, was not thrown by him. It was a party that she attended. And it was a very formal gathering with very high backseat chairs, kind of like adorned, maybe old school backseat chairs, like just really high. So I'm sitting in a chair and the back goes to my shoulders. I'm talking where these were like high, almost covered backseat chairs, and a very, very long table, a very dark room with like crimson coloring inside this room. It's a formal dining dinner of some kind, and people are talking all across, and there's different kinds of people. These aren't just music people. These are all kinds of people. These are different people, okay, from all walks of life is what I'm saying. At this dinner, there was some brokering deals done, okay, because I feel like she was invited and observant, but not participant, okay? So she was not participating in this, but she observed what was going on. And I feel like it upset her, what she heard. There were people who shouldn't have been at this dinner, as in people you wouldn't expect to mingle with other people. Now, granted, you can go out, to Home Depot and run into people, right? You can go to Trader Joe's and run into people. You can run into people at the DMV, because we all got to go to the DMV, unfortunately. But this was different. And the information that she gathered was upsetting to her. So when they say, and I want you to hear me with this, because I'm going to try to explain this without getting myself in trouble. When they say that her former baby daddy and people did not want her to write a tell-all book about what she witnessed, and they are dumbing it down to the fact that they think that P. Diddy is on some kind of spree for removing people who speak about this because he's gay, that is not the issue. I want you to hear me. That's one thing, and he may have his own shame about that, and it may be culturally not right for him, whatever. Get in line in society. That is not what this is. That's not what it is. So
I started in Louisiana and decided I would move over here to the big city. And 32 years later, I've been here at
Now, I want you all to pay attention to this part, because she is saying that whatever it is that allegedly Diddy is trying to hide, it is not the fact that he's gay. That's not what this is about. So please pay attention to what she next says.
I'm going to jump into something separate here to explain what this is. All right, so let's look at it this way. You, me, all of us, we come into a family heritage, right? Some of us are born Christian, some are born Catholic, some are born Jewish, some are Scientologists, some are atheists, some are agnostic, some are whatever religion is out there, Muslim, insert name of religion, okay? Insert name of new age, whatever, however you, spiritual, however you want to word this. So we come into the context of understanding about our position in this world through the family unit that teaches us. And we're kind of at the mercy of that growing up, right? Like we have parents, and if they drag you to midnight mass, you're getting dragged to midnight mass. If they're agnostic, you're not going anywhere. If they're Jewish, you're observing those holidays. If they're Orthodox, that's a whole notch up. So what if, and this is an if, this is not an if, this is a what was happening. If you're born into a history and lineage that follows a religion that believes through the art of sexual breaking down and making the person vulnerable, removing the ego and fragmenting the self. So if you're born into, quote, a religion that does that, okay? Which there are religions that do that. Think of like David Koresh. Think of Mormons. Don't yell at me, Mormon people. I'm not talking about your church. You know, you guys are all over saying that. But you understand where they break down. So what is a way to break down a person? A way to break down a person is to take away their internal security. To take away their internal security is to control them. Because once they've lost their sense of self, they are easily manipulated into being what you need them to be. Now take that in terms of children. When we abuse children, okay, in this world, that is what we are doing. They are harboring just an insane amount of insecurity and lack of knowing of strength and self and knowing about source connection because it's been ripped away from them. So what if, instead of saying he's gay, we say that he partakes in ritualistic sodomy passages of right in order to control the soul body of the physical body of the person. Yes, I know what I just said sounds weird, but what if we are to look at it that way? Because that is what I'm actually believing is going on. I don't believe that a lot of what we think is, quote, gay behavior. I mean, technically it's what we label gay behavior, the action. You know, if you're with the person of the same sex and you do that, then that is labeled that. Like heterosexual sex is labeled a man and a woman do this, right? So when it's same sex and when it comes to men in power, how did they get into such power? I want you guys just to consider this. Because they're no different than you. No one has any secret magical talents out there that makes them so much better than you. Seriously. Some people may be able to sing better, but it's not him, okay? Some people may be able to do things like they may be an artist, they may be a better parent, they may be mechanical. They may have attributes and abilities in athletics and stuff like that. But what makes them so freaking fucking special on this planet that they got to amass $900 million. What is that about? So that is about, let's just look at it this way. They're not.
I want you all to pay attention right there. She said that they've got to amass $900 million. Okay. Now they have alleged previously that Cassie received $100 million from Diddy. So prior to that, didn't they say that Diddy was a billionaire? Now, if you take away that $100 million that they claimed that Cassie was given in the settlement, that would leave him with $900 million. I just want you all to pay attention because she literally said the exact amounts. But let me continue.
Special than you. There's something else going on. That's what she was trying to say. It's not a book about him being gay. He may have had gay sex. Do we expect any of these people haven't? I mean, really, we're talking about people in the entertainment industry. Don't they do everything that, you know, other people don't want to do? I mean, or maybe the other people want to do, but can't because they'll get fired from their job. In Hollywood, you can do it, right? In the entertainment industry, you can do it. But ask yourself why there's such a predominance of, quote, gay behavior. Because it's not gay behavior. That's not what we're talking about. There are gay people, but what we're talking about here is ritualistic sexual deviancy used to harness energy of a human being.
Let me stop right there. She said ritualistic sexual deviancy that is used to harvest energy of a human being. Okay, anyone remember my videos that I did on adrenochrome that I had to take down? I just want you all to pay attention.
Being harnessed, not me, not you, but the people that he's dealing with. And she became privy to this. She witnessed this. Now, if you follow a religion that believes you need the brightest, strongest, most pure energy, most biggest, brightest diamond, like Liz Taylor running around with big, gaudy ass diamonds, acting like that was something. Okay, so let's look at it this way. If you want energy that's as big as a diamond like that and as authentic, where do you get it from? You get it from children. And what if you are using those ritualistic behaviors at children? What if you're doing that with children? What
she said, what if you're doing that with children? I just want you all to pay attention.
You are putting spores into children. Okay, what do I mean by spores? Energetic hooks. What if you are putting energetic hooks through the act of ritualized sex? Not sex, like not like, oh my God, I'm hot, I want to fuck that person. Not that kind of sex. Ritualized, thought out, planned, specifically to rip the person down and hide behind their energy. That is what we are talking about. We are talking about the ritualizing, sexualized aggression directed at young children, mainly male, in order to harness their energy. So it's a hard concept to understand. I don't know that I understand it fully, but if I can use your energy. So we all have that friend that can get us into clubs and restaurants because they're dialed up and everybody knows them and they can get us discounts and all of that stuff. So we love to hang around that friend because we're like, I can get all my makeup, I can get my manicures, I can get into the club, I can get that purse, I can get it before other people. Who doesn't like that? We all like that. But what if we're talking about a religion that hides behind the energy of the most innocent on this planet who are lit up energetically because it hasn't been broken by this planet? And what if they are using this ritualized sodomy sex in order to separate the human body from the soul body so that they can attach it on the astral, harness that energy, utilize it here and act like they're all fucking special here, doing bullshit and then making you feel like shit.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Ooh, that was a lot. This woman is on point as far as I'm concerned. Now, someone was in the chat, someone named Tamara Dillon, saying something about I'm all on this white woman or whatever, talking about us and this, that, and the third. Girl, shut the F up. Okay, that's what you can do. If you don't like what I'm on, then get out of my chat. Why are you here listening? But you're listening. Okay, make yourself make sense. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to gather evidence and receipts. Who the messenger is not my concern. Okay, whoever's putting out the information that I think is usable, that's what I'm going to do. And if you don't like it, beloved, you can exit stage left. This woman is on point as far as I'm concerned. Now, she already predicted months ago that something would be exposed about Diddy in November of 2023. She also specifically said in one of the videos that it would be around November the 15th. She said Kim died November the 15th, and this information would be out on the 15th. Now, mind you, Cassie filed the the petition against him, the federal lawsuit, on November the 16th. And she was likely planning all of this, of course, I'm sure, on the 15th. So very accurate as far as I'm concerned. Also, when she's talking about this energetic energy being taken possibly from children, well, that sounds like something I've told you all about numerous of times in the past, okay, with this adrenochrome and all of these satanic rituals. Now, she said she didn't really know much about it. Well, that's probably because she doesn't know about adrenochrome, but she was very on point in her description of how this energy is taken from these children, okay? So with that all being said, I think she did an excellent job, and the information is very salacious, and she's absolutely on point. And also, Mr. Hotel said, woo, this is crazy. Yes, it absolutely is. Hallie said, you try and warn people, but they don't listen. Exactly. Samantha Ford says, yes, I remember, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Okay, so, you know, at the end of the day, I find this all very interesting. And I find a lot of the things that she said to be very accurate. Okay, Miss Hotel said, thanks for sharing, Queen. Oh, you're welcome. Deronda says, sick people in the world. Absolutely. James says, she also said something will be happening around March of 2024. Yes, she did, beloved. Absolutely. Okay, so this is going to get more interesting because things are absolutely being revealed. Now, if you remember, the first thing was Diddy was implicated by Dwayne Keefe Davis in the killing of Tupac. Okay, he said Diddy's name. He started spilling tea on Diddy. And now we have Cassie coming out and spilling tea on Diddy. I want you all to pay attention because, yes, I absolutely believe something else is going to happen in the next few months. Okay? It's all adding up, says December. Absolutely. And, you know, for those who don't like what the Queen is cooking, I always tell you to unsubscribe, unfollow. Like, why are you in my chat complaining about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it? If you don't like the information I'm giving, if you don't like the sources from which I obtain said information, then all you have to do is leave. Don't come in my chat ever trying to tell me about what I'm doing. Okay? Please. I'm not supposed to listen to this woman's information because she's white. You sound niggard as far as I'm concerned. Okay? So with that crazy bitch Eric said, never unsubscribe, Queen. Okay? Thank you, beloved. All right. So, Dang Bruno said, remember the movie Mad Max with the human blood banks they drove around with? Exactly. Okay? Also nefarious. Sophie Love said, haters exit the door. The door is on the left. That's right, beloved. Tell them. Okay, they can sit down somewhere, honey. All right, so with that all being said, Miss Hotel said, miss me with it. Okay, Love Her said they send them in the chats to troll. You already know they do, okay? And so, you know, like I said, if everyone doesn't have to agree with me, and it's fine if you don't agree, you don't have to. But if you don't like it, as Tamara clearly didn't, said that I'm all on this white woman, honey, at the end of the day, you can just leave. Do yourself a favor, okay? So with that all being said, I hope everyone got something out of this. All right. And we will be live on the spiritual channel today. Okay. I'm going live on the spiritual channel. It's 10:48. I'm going live on there. I have to do a TikTok. And then I'm going live on there probably at about 2 o'clock. Okay. It may be a little, maybe before or after, but somewhere around that time frame. Terry Hinn said, Queen, I truly appreciate you. Thank you, beloved. Miss Hotel said, Queen, this live was explosive. Thank you. All right. And, you know, thanks to Sloan Bella for giving out this information, okay? So with that all being said, everyone enjoy the rest of this lovely day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. And hopefully I will see you all in the next chat on the spiritual channel, Queen Ahmadiyyah TV, more than meets the third eye. All right? And so until next time, beloveds, peace.
Hit him with that flavor. All in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hate